Navy Screen magazine has been getting so many requests lately from Navy men that this time we've asked Specialist Third Class Sullivan to take over.
Our first request comes from Gunner's Mate Second Class John Ellsworth, now in South Pacific waters. He'd like to see some pictures of the one-man torpedo that the German Navy's been using.
As the drawing indicates, the weapon is two standard 21-inch German torpedoes secured together. The lower one is complete with warhead, while the upper one, in place of the warhead, has a control room with a plexiglass hatch in the nose, which is for the pilot. And here's an actual glimpse of the one-man torpedo taken from captured enemy film. The crew gives the craft a final check just before it goes into action. Because it cannot travel more than 100 miles under its own power, a mothership, under cover of darkness, must bring it within range of the target. Important Allied shipping in the North Sea. Here we can see only the control torpedo, but underneath is its explosive counterpart. Once aimed, the lower torpedo is released and goes forward under its own propulsion. The Germans score a hit. In the meantime, signals are flashed aboard the mothership, and a sharp lookout is kept for the pilot, now afloat in the control torpedo. He will make for the ship or head for shore. As the last of their navy is knocked out or forced into hiding, the Nazis are trying to dramatize the importance of the one-man torpedo. But so far, this brainchild has been unable to effectively cripple our shipping. So far, it's merely one more proof the Nazis are determined to use every idea, every method in their rag bag of tricks to fight this war to the bitter end.
We've had dozens of letters from Brooklyn boys, Navy and Army. All of them are convinced that by request would give them and the rest of the men in the service the biggest break of the war if we just show some shots of their very special hometown.
Okay, Mac, here we go. A quick tour of Brooklyn, beginning with the famous bridge, looking at it from lower Manhattan. Then into the downtown district. Several requests came in for this shot of Fulton Street, so here it is. This shot of Henry Street is for Vincent Guaranciano, somewhere in France. When these three sailors reached home on leave, they didn't waste any time. All Brooklyn girls, of course. All right, boys, now we'll have the kiss. Thank you. To most men in service, Brooklyn is merely a convenient word on which to hang a gag. But not to Brooklynites born and bred there. To them, it's a good place to visit and a fine place to live. They think of it not only as a city divorced from the rest of New York, but as a mood, a spirit. With places like Prospect Park, where there's snow on the ground long after it's melted everywhere else. These particular pictures of Lookout Mountain were taken for James Mannix, Bill Walsh, and Sam Beanland, all seamen aboard the USS Adonis. Corporal John Meyer, out of the States now for over 2 years, reminds us that Brooklyn is sometimes called the City of Churches. Asks to see St. Teresa's, his parish church. Says it'd give him and 2,500 other Teresians in the service a lot of pleasure. And here's a shot of Shore Road for Sergeant Lester Rodney, and several others who wrote in saying a glimpse of it and the bay would help take care of that homesick feeling. Now, everyone knows that a tree grows in Brooklyn, so naturally we had to include it. But Sergeant Applebaum thinks we should show a picture of Easton Parkway, just to prove that more than one tree grows there. No pictures of Brooklyn would be complete without a glimpse of the stadium at Ebbets Field and them lovely bums in action. Finally, the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch, erected in honor of some other Brooklyn boys who went off to fight an important war in 1861.
Sanford Smith, a seaman first class in the United States Coast Guard, writes that he's seen magazine pictures of Lina Romay, but has never heard her sing. How's chances, he asks, of seeing her on the screen? The chances are very good, Seaman First Class Smith. Here she is.
Chiu, 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 chiu. Chiu, 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 chiu. Mira que la vida es triste, que tu cantar me alegra el corazón. Chiu, 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 chiu. Chiu, 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 chiu. Canta, canta, pajarito, que tu cantar me alegra el corazón. Con tus gorjeos, con tu trinar, despierta el alba, la noche ya se va. Con tus gorjeos, con tu trinar, despierta el alba, la noche ya se va. Chiu, 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 chiu. My heart singing just for two. Chiu, 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 chiu. This is the song I sang last night to you. Chiu, 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 chiu. Means my heart is on the wing. Chiu, 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 chiu. And when you're near, I hear an angel sing. My love is soaring, I'm flying high. You're so adoring, my heart is in the sky. The bird that's singing will soon be through. Then I'll be winging my song of love to you. Chiu, chiu, chiu. Chiu, chiu, chiu. Mira que la vida es triste, que tu cantar me alegra el corazón. Chiu, 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 chiu. Chiu, chiu, chiu. Chiu, 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 chiu. Chiu, chiu. Canta, canta, pajarito, que tu cantar me alegra el corazón. Chiu, chiu. Chiu, chiu. Chiu, 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 chiu.
There it is for this time, fellows. Keep the letters coming, and we'll keep trying to answer them. Remember the address, By Request Department, Army, Navy, Screen Magazine, New York City.